All right, so last little exercise for the week, and I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to be the most difficult one. I'll let you guys be the one to decide that. Anyway, so for the most part, I think you guys should have a firm grasp on what you're supposed to do at this point. But I still wanted to explain re-explain some things just in case there are any misunderstandings. But chapters. So exercises 1 and 2 are more or less the same. Like fill in the blank using the words that they or endings that they give you on the side, sort of thing. So that part shouldn't be any different. I just wanted to re-emphasize that. Remember the distinction between gender. So for instance, with number 2, if you're having trouble deciding whether or not it's a Iulium versus Iuliam, so like in the beginning, or for this one, Marcus Iulium or Iuliam pulsat, well, think, who does he punch in the chapter? He punches Julia, so go with that one, basically. Again, reading your chapter will make all of this so much more easy. So the best way to figure out whether or not you should be using or is what gender the person is. So if you see Marcus or Quintus, then you would use If you see Julia, you would use Make sure to still read out all the sentences though. And then for ones where it's someone talking about how, say, Marcus is punching me, then you would put me in the same place that you would put me in English. So that part, this one should be easy. I don't think that you guys need my help, but just in case. Next, we have Exercitium 3, which is slightly, I shouldn't say that much more difficult. I can see it giving someone trouble though, so I thought I might as well include it. So with this one, your job is to, as you can see, what you're given here is at, et, and it. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, if you notice, it's all verb endings. Well, okay, so that doesn't sound that bad. And here's more or less just what you have to do. Well, look up the verb cantat in chapter 3. Is it cantat, cantet, or cantit? It's cantat. Okay, so that means that I put cantat here. Simple as that. Similarly, look up the word, well, whatever this becomes. Is it vidat, videt, or vidit? It's videt. Okay, so put videt, et here. Then same thing without it. So that's all you need to be worrying about with that one. Then we get to the actual sort of maybe some more difficult stuff. You get to exercise 5. Again, exercise 4 is pretty much the same thing as before. You have vocabulary words, and you need to fill in the blanks. If you need to, use your vocabulary packet and turn to chapter 3. I don't think you guys should need any of that, but just in case, especially after rereading the chapter, again, should be doing that. But even if after rereading the chapter, you don't quite know what some of the words mean, then by all means use your vocabulary packet. I'm not going to get offended. I'm not sure how I would tell. Unlike Google Translate, I wouldn't be able to tell if you used your packet. So let's say cur and quia. So moving on to exercise 5. What we have here is cur means why. So why does this happen? Well, this happens because of this. So again, it's the same sort of process. You're looking for the question word, and then, but for this particular question word, what the response that you need to give a quia. You need to add the word quia, and then give the explanation for the action that it's asking about. So, for instance, in the exemplum that they give, cur Julia cantat. So, why is Julia singing? Well, the answer is that Julia is singing. So again, you're repeating the sort of meat of the question. So Julia is singing. Quia, the response, laeta est. She is happy. So what is the reason for why Julia is singing? Julia is singing because she's happy. If you are having trouble figuring out what the reason for it is, then once again, go back into the book and do it. So for instance, Cur Marcus Juliam pulsat? The answer to that question is given towards the very beginning of the chapter. Marcus Juliam, why do I keep misspelling things this week? I'm so sorry. Pulsat quia Julia cantat. Not that hard. So Marcus Juliam pulsat quia Julia cantat, and it annoys him. If you want to say quia Marcus eratus est, that works as well. I suppose, but the reason for why he's angry is because Julia is singing. So that's why. That's ultimately the reason, and I think that's a better answer. Okay, so that's exercise 5. We're skipping 6 and 7, and going to number 8. Now, number 8 is pretty much the exact same thing as last time. So, for instance, quis Juliam pulsat? Well, so you try to figure out, well, what does that mean? Well, it means who punches Julia. And so you replace quis with the person who does the action. Quis Juliam pulsat? Marcus Juliam pulsat. The only difference is here that you add quem audit Julius. So quem audit Julius. Well, okay. So is this asking who hears Julius? No, it's not. You need to pay close attention. If it was who hears Julius, it would be quis, not quem, quis audit Julium. Instead, it's quem audit Julius. You see, quem is in the accusative case, and thus the response also has to be the accusative case. So, but you can replace around the order. So Julius audit, and then give whoever it is he hears. In this case, it is quintum. Now you'll notice quintum is in the accusative case. You can tell he's in the accusative case because of the fact that he ends in If he was a feminine for whatever reason, then it would be but it's masculine, so So Julius audit quintum. Quem audit Julius? Quem audit Julius? Julius audit quintum. All right. So that should be everything for today. After exercise number 8, all you have is 9. So just be sure. Now, number 9 is basically a kind of continuation with number 8. It's more or less the same thing. You were doing with assignment 2, except now you're adding quem and que and all that stuff. But you're still just basically adding a quis or a quem over there on the side, figuring out whether or not it's supposed to be in the nominative case. In other words, if the who is the subject, or if it's in the accusative case. And the best way to do that is to see, well, okay, so is the other word in the nominative case in the accusative case? If the other word is in the accusative case, then it's probably going to be quis. So for instance, in the very first one, something Juliam pulsat, Marcus Juliam pulsat. Okay, so Marcus, as you can see, is in the nominative, which means that you should put quis. Whereas we go down a little bit to let number 3, blank quintus pulsat, Marcum quintus pulsat. So, okay, so is it quis or is it quem? Well, Marcum is accusative, so you would put quem quintus pulsat, Marcum quintus pulsat. So basically, whoever is different in the second sentence from whoever isn't in the first sentence but is in the second sentence, you basically just match the case there. Not that bad. Hope you all did fine with this. Yeah, we're just going to cut it there.